The world is witnessing a resurgence of protectionism, with tariffs emerging as the weapon of choice. This new era of trade wars, reminiscent of the 1930s, threatens to unravel the interconnected global economy. At the epicenter is the United States, where the current administration has imposed sweeping tariffs on a wide range of imports. These actions have sent shockwaves through global markets and ignited tensions with key trading partners. The stated goal of these tariffs is to protect domestic industries and reduce trade deficits. However, the economic fallout is far-reaching, impacting businesses, consumers, and global supply chains. As we delve into the details of these tariffs and their consequences, it's crucial to understand the potential for long-term damage to the global trading system. As of April 5, 2025, the United States has imposed a new wave of tariffs, primarily targeting goods from Asia and Europe. These tariffs range from 10 to 46%, depending on the country of origin and the product. This means that imported goods, once subject to minimal duties, now face significant price hikes. The most substantial tariff increase of 34% targets Chinese imports, exacerbating an already tense trade relationship. European Union goods face a 20% tariff, while imports from Japan, Taiwan, Vietnam, and Israel are subject to duties of 24, 32, 46, and 17% respectively. These tariffs are in addition to existing levies on certain goods, such as steel and aluminum. The cumulative effect of these tariffs is a significant increase in the cost of imported goods for American businesses and consumers. Not all imports are subject to these new tariffs. The U.S. government has granted exemptions to certain goods deemed essential or strategically important. These exemptions cover a wide range of products, including crude oil, petroleum products, pharmaceuticals, uranium, titanium, lumber, semiconductors, and copper. These exemptions are intended to mitigate the immediate impact of the tariffs on key industries and prevent disruptions to critical supply chains. However, the exemptions do not cover all essential goods. For instance, while raw materials like copper are exempt, manufactured goods containing copper may still be subject to tariffs. This inconsistency creates confusion and uncertainty for businesses trying to navigate the complex web of tariff rules. The immediate impact of the tariffs was felt most acutely in the financial markets. Global stock markets plunged, with the S&P 500 suffering a record two-day decline of $5 trillion. The FTSE 100, a key indicator of the UK economy, experienced its worst day since the depths of the COVID-19 pandemic. This market turmoil reflects the deep uncertainty and anxiety surrounding the future of global trade. Investors, fearing a full-blown trade war and its potential impact on global growth, fled to the relative safety of government bonds. The yield on the 10-year U.S. Treasury note, a benchmark for global borrowing costs, fell sharply as investors sought safe haven assets. This flight to safety indicates a lack of confidence in the market's ability to weather the storm of escalating trade tensions. Section 5. Corporate Strategies: Navigating the Tariff Minefield. The tariffs have placed businesses in a precarious position, forcing them to adapt to a rapidly changing trade landscape. Companies are grappling with increased costs, disrupted supply chains, and uncertainty about the future. Some companies like Jaguar Land Rover have responded by temporarily halting shipments to the United States. Others, like Nissan, are considering shifting production to the United States to avoid tariffs. However, such moves are costly and time-consuming and may not be feasible for all companies. Many businesses are left with no choice but to absorb the increased costs, at least in the short term, which could lead to lower profits, higher prices for consumers, or even job losses. Section 6. The world responds: International backlash and retaliation. The international community has condemned the U.S. tariffs, viewing them as protectionist and harmful to the global economy. Several countries have announced retaliatory tariffs, targeting iconic American products like bourbon, motorcycles, and agricultural goods. China, the primary target of the U.S. tariffs, has imposed retaliatory tariffs of up to 34% on a range of U.S. goods. The European Union, Canada, and Mexico have also announced retaliatory tariffs, targeting products from states politically important to the current U.S. administration. This tit-for-tat escalation of tariffs threatens to spiral into a full-blown trade war, with devastating consequences for all involved. Section 7. Public outcry and official responses. Voices from the streets and the White House. The tariffs have sparked protests around the world, with people taking to the streets to voice their anger and concern. Protesters argue that tariffs will lead to job losses, higher prices for consumers, and damage to the global economy. In the U.S., protests have erupted in major cities, with demonstrators denouncing the tariffs and their impact on American jobs and retirement accounts. The U.S. government, however, remains defiant, arguing that the tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and interests. Administration officials have dismissed the market turmoil as a temporary blip and have downplayed the impact of retaliatory tariffs. Whether this optimistic outlook will hold true in the long run remains to be seen. Section 8. Looming threats, future targets on the tariff horizon. The current wave of tariffs may be just the beginning. The U.S. administration has signaled its intention to expand tariffs to other sectors, including pharmaceuticals and rare earth minerals. The administration is also considering ending the $800 de minimis rule, which allows goods below that value to be imported tariff-free. Removing this exemption would significantly impact small businesses and online retailers who rely on low-value imports. These potential future tariffs add another layer of uncertainty to the already volatile trade environment. Businesses are left to grapple with the possibility of even higher costs and further disruptions to their supply chains. Section 9. Collateral damage, sector-specific impacts, and the case of Bangladesh. While the tariffs are designed to protect certain U.S. industries, they often have unintended consequences for other sectors around the world. One such example is the textile industry in Bangladesh, the world's second-largest garment manufacturer. The tariffs on cotton and polyester, key raw materials for the textile industry, have dealt a severe blow to Bangladesh's economy. These tariffs threaten the livelihoods of millions of garment workers in Bangladesh, many of whom are women. This situation highlights the interconnected nature of the global economy and the far-reaching consequences of protectionist trade policies. The tariffs imposed by the U.S., while intended to protect domestic industries, have far-reaching impacts that extend far beyond American borders.